Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Irene and today I'll show you some makeovers. I'll use cheap plastic toys from Dollar Tree to make a beautiful Christmas decorations. I'll start with plastic train. At first I came across a freight train and then I met passenger ones, so I'll be using both of them. First of all, toys are to be primed. I used aerosol primer for plastic. As usual, I'll try to find links for available options and leave them in description box below the video. Now let's paint the trains. I painted them with acrylic paints and used some traditional Christmas colors, bright red and dark green, and I also painted one carriage yellow. Coal in one of the carriages, small details, wheels and so on I painted in bronze, and I also colored the roofs of the carriages in bronze. I made the locomotives different, one red with green details, the other, on the contrary, green with red. And I also highlighted all kinds of pipes, plates and other little things with bronze using a small brush. It's absolutely not necessary to be an artist here, just pick a little paint so that the brush was semi-dry and just lightly touch all the details you want to accentuate. And finally, since the trains are Christmas trains, they are to be decorated for the holiday. For this I used contour paints. I drew a pine garland under all the windows and put red and white dots on it like bubbles. Under the roof, I added red and white dots like light garlands. I also made additional needles in a grassy green color in some places and added holly leaves with berries. You can decorate the trains to your liking, and if you don't have contour paints in the desired color, you can simply glue over the trains some decorations, some beads, ribbons, green pipe cleaners, and I'll show you this option a little bit further too. The last thing that remains is to cover the trains with snow. Dry brush with white acrylic, roofs and all horizontal surfaces, everywhere the snow usually falls to. Such a Christmas train can be placed under a Christmas tree, or you can put it somewhere over the table or a shelf. You can even hang the train over the large Christmas tree as ornament, and I'm sure boys and some girls too will certainly be happy with such kind of decoration. My second makeover is a toy horse. I bought it a long time ago at Dollar Tree, and the first thing to do is to prime the horse. I used the same primer, but this time I primed in white. After priming, horse is really looking much better, but I really don't like the place where the two halves meet. It has a seam here, so I decided to make the horse a saddle to hide this. I took white foam and cut a piece of approximately desired size, put it over the horse and marked the blanket right in place with pencil. I got a rectangle with rounded edges. To hide the seam between the two halves of the horse, I took a thin ribbon and hot glued it over the seam, and then I hot glued a blanket over the ribbon. I wanted some texture, so I took a piece of lace and glued it over the blanket. Next, I put a saddle. I also cut a rectangle of approximately the required size, outlined the contour with a pencil, folded it in half and cut out an oval. To make the saddle more voluminous around the edge, I made additional pad under one side of the saddle. This will push the edge up a bit like a real saddle. Now the harness. I hot glued two strips of ribbon on the sides of the muzzle. To make them narrower, I folded them in half lengthwise. And one more ribbon goes around the muzzle. I cut out a horseshoe-shaped detail and hot glue it next to the ears. I don't know what's the name of this detail in the horse vestments is, I just saw it on a picture. Another ribbon goes behind the ears, and the last one is like a necklace. I also decided to stick another smaller oval piece over the saddle. I apologize for shooting badly here, I got carried away and didn't check if I got into the frame well. After this, I painted everything white, and then decided that snow white is not quite what I need, and I repainted everything in ivory. Time for decoration. I took these champagne-colored plastic beads, or to be honest, these are from my mother's old necklace, which I disassembled. Hello, Mom! I collected two strands of beads on a thin wire, one a little bit longer and second a bit shorter. I twisted the ends of the wire together, cut off the excess and hot glued the resulting elegant bridle over the muzzle. Second details go to the other side. I also made a string of beads on a wire exactly the size of the smaller saddle and glue it around the entire perimeter. With bronze contour paint, I accentuated the edge of horseshoe-shaped piece, blanket and saddle, and in the end I decorated the whole thing with bronze dots. And to finish, some plastic snowflakes and a plume of feathers to the top of horse head. I decorated it with beads and a jewelry pendant, and also added some more beads and bows. In the very end, I decided that I wanted to add some bright essence, so I attached small red bells to the bridle. The last thing is to draw the eyes of the horse and tint the hooves with bronze too. And the horse is ready to shine. You can hang it, you can just put it under the tree or over the table, shelf and the like. And of course no one would suspect an ugly plastic toy from Dollar Tree in this luxurious Victorian style toy. As you can see, you can use anything you have at hand for decoration. Just get creative and use lace, ribbons, beads, all jewelry and the like. You can make it all white or, on the contrary, dress it up in bright harness in traditional Christmas colors. And finally, the houses. These were doll houses from Dollar Tree. They are just halves of the house originally, folding into kind of a bag. First of all, I cut all the fasteners and handles from the houses. Then the houses need to be primed. My first primer was of bad quality. I ended up using Rust-Oleum ivory paint I had at home to prime this, and I highly recommend it. It works just great. I painted primed houses in bright colors. Two of the houses I decided to make red. The third one has a red roof, windows and a door. And I painted the fourth house green. I also made green roof for one of the red houses and a green door and a fence for the other. The result was a little bit too bright for my taste, so I decided to age the houses. I used glazing liquid, mine is from Benjamin Moore. I mixed clear glazing liquid with bronze paint at a ratio of about 1 part paint to 4 parts glazing as per instructions over the liquid, and applied the glazing to the house surface. I put some generous layer and immediately rubbed it off with a cloth. Of course, you don't have to age the houses, this is a matter of a taste. Next, I wanted to hang icicles over the houses. To do this, I took a white cardboard and cut it into strips about ½ an inch wide and cut a wavy strip making long tongues here and there. These will be icicles. And hot glue it to the edge of the roof. For beveled roof sections, cut the edge of the strip at the desired angle and make waves at this angle too, otherwise you want icicle hanging at 45 degrees. Attach paper icicles to the entire roof. You may also want to add some snow to make the icicle look more natural, so apply white paint along the edges of the roof, along the tops, over fences and stairs and so on. Now you can leave it like this, but I'll continue. You'll need a sheet of paper and white glitter. Apply hot glue to the icicles and painted snow, and quickly before the glue hardens, sprinkle it with glitter. You'll get a very natural imitation of snow. After the house is ready, just take a sheet of paper and pour the excess glitter back into the jar. I promised to show you another variant of decoration without contour paints. You will need green pipe cleaners for this. Twist 2 pipe cleaners and bend in a ring. Glue a thin ribbon bow and the wreath for the door is ready. I also added some gold thread, beads, tiny bows over small pieces of pipe cleaners and glued all these decorations to the windows and doors of the houses. You can also get creative here and use what you have. Since everything around will be snowy, I added a little white. I wanted to make a lighted village, and this will require a base. I made it from a sheet of polystyrene. It's sold in hardware stores. It's sort of insulation material and is very cheap. Cut several pieces of irregular shape to get an elevation with different levels where the houses will be installed. After you like how it looks, hot glue all levels together. Mark the places where you will be installing the houses. After the base is ready, paint it white. For lighting, I bought a garland on a thin copper wire. Mine is from AliExpress. I put the garland inside the houses, glue it here and there so that everything held well, and installed the houses into place. I added small bottle brush trees to make the landscape more realistic. I also decided to add some false snow, so I applied some white glue and poured false snow over it. The result is an adorable Christmas village. If you wish, you can make it even more detailed, add some trees, decorate Christmas trees with beads, put benches and lanterns and the like. I love tiny houses, and for quite a while I wanted to settle at least a small Christmas village. This lantern creates a very special Christmas mood. By the way, I debated for a long time about the color. I couldn't choose what kind of houses I like, more bright colored or more calm, white and gray, for example. I think total white village with white houses and white trees would look just as good. Which option would you prefer for this Christmas? Bright or all white? Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you liked this video, and if so, support me with a huge like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my video. Have a nice day and bye!